So in 2021, we started the business. We really didn't start the business. I didn't start the business at the time. I was a solo founder. I didn't start the business really to grow it into what it's become today. I
Mhm.
started it more as a path to build a team that could manage my own personal investments. As we grew, I found that I find building business maybe even more fun than investing.
Mhm.
And so we really started to lean into that direction. One of the hardest parts, I think, about growing a property management business, especially in the short-term vacation rental space, is that it is a 24/7, 365 business, no matter if you have one property or 200 properties. And so there comes this point that I like to kind of call the swamp when I'm referring to it between maybe 200, 20 properties and 85 properties. It gets really hard for the majority of companies that I've seen, at least my peers, to kind of get past that. Barring the companies who have gone for the ultra high luxury homes, there just
Mhm.
seems to be this point where you have too many homes and too many problems and not enough people and not enough employees to deal with them. Around that point, I actually met my now co-founder, Zach Campbell. And so he had started a separate property management company. We were both kind of in that period of about 65 properties or whatnot. We decided to come together and merge the businesses. That
Mhm.
really gave us a big head start. At the time, we each have one or two employees, kind of everyone is doing their jack of all trades jobs. And that is great when you're getting started, but it is very hard to scale that way. There just needs to be so much more organization, which is where we'll get into some of the technology aspects. But even without the technology, your people have to be organized. People have to know what they own in your business. And so as we grew, that kind of merging really allowed us to start to focus on this as a true business where we have different siloed aspects of it. And today, now we're sitting around 250 properties with about 15 W-2 employees, another 70 1099 contractors. And so that, I think, that kind of coming together really helped us. But there's no doubt about it. When you do a business with no funding, it is waking up early, worried about what you missed during the nights, and going to bed late, trying to get things ready for the next day. And there's just no getting around that, especially I think when you don't take funding. And so our story is definitely a pull yourself up by the bootstraps and keep trudging forward and doing the right things and treating our clients right, and in part hoping for the best. And we've been able to grow quite a bit by doing that.
Welcome back to The Loop, your weekly dose of all things property management. I'm your host, Colin Stewart, and each week we're going to dive into the latest trends, strategies, and stories shaping the property management world. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we're here to provide insights, expert interviews, and practical tips to help you navigate the ever-evolving landscape of property management.